Social media marketing, what you need to know. Does my brand have to be on every social media? Simply, let's go back to the podcast. Episode
7.
Welcome back. Well, we haven't actually been introducing ourselves again, Tom.
No, we haven't.
Oh, that was a rookie.
Yeah.
I'm Chloe, and this is
Tom.
Yeah, we should have done that in the previous episodes. Anyway, Go back and listen to them. If you haven't, things might get a bit silly. Who knows?
Episode 7.
Episode 7 might be 6. Whatever.
Best one yet.
Best one yet. Do you think?
Hopefully.
You have a bold statement to make, Tom.
Hopefully.
Absolutely.
As long as you don't let us down.
Why would I? You let me down. His jokes are getting too bad. They're letting me down. Anyway, episode 7, social media marketing, best one yet. What you need to know. What do you need to know? Where do we start? Where do you start with this? Is the question.
Difficult, isn't it?
It is difficult.
It's minefield.
How would you even start to introduce social media marketing?
To someone's business?
I guess so.
Most people have dabbled in it already.
Well, whether it's personally.
No.
Yeah. It's,
Like most businesses by now would have dabbled.
Well, you'd be surprised. You'd hope so.
Yeah. But it's a lack of understanding, lack of knowledge. Like they've not really done it properly. Like I think most people can probably most businesses could make a success of it.
Yeah. If they had the know-how.
Yeah, and they've just got to dedicate a little bit of time and effort. Nurture it a little bit.
100%.
And believe that you can do it.
Yeah, and seeing what you can get from it. Like, being
100%.
patient. I think we've touched on that a lot, but being patient.
Yeah, and I think that all these channels, that's where people are.
It's the new World Wide Web. Would you say? Like back in the day, having a website is so important still. But for people now, you go straight onto social media.
Yeah, it's the first place you can attract people, yeah.
Whereas back in the day, it was going on to AskTubes. Did you use that?
I did, yeah. I think it's where you can, like, that's where people are hanging out. And, like, obviously each platform maybe have slightly different demographics. There's crossover. People use, like, multiple platforms. But it's the first place where you can kind of influence people.
Oh, yeah. Be it a thought leader.
Relatively cheaply and...
Cheap. Yeah, it is. That's the thing. Time. What else do you really need to put into it? If you're going down like the route of like, I don't know, outsourcing things and like a little bit of budget, but mostly.
But you're gonna have to pay for someone to do it anyway. So
yeah, so you
whether
might as well
that's
do it
someone internally or whatever,
externally.
Yeah. But yeah, you need to, you need a solid plan. That's the most important thing. Strategy is the key to it all, right? And like looking at each platform and going, okay, do a couple of platforms like really well rather than trying to do everything
100%.
Averagely, I would say.
Know who you're targeting. Yeah. Know why you're posting it.
Have a really specific message that you're trying to get across. Have a list of things that you want to get into that content. Then think like, how then can I make content around these sort of key, USPs, like give away your knowledge for free, educate, behind the scenes, like they're the things that you've got to make people buy into you and buy into your brand.
Oh yeah, and really get into your target consumer's mind.
Yeah,
what would they want to consume?
Yeah, that's one of the mistakes we see quite a lot is that remember who you're making the content for.
You're not making it for your brand.
No, you're not making it for yourself.
No.
You're trying to influence somebody to interact with your company in some sort of way, whether that's a product, whether that's service, whatever it is. You've got to have that person in mind. What's their pain points?
Yeah.
Why does that person need me effectively?
Absolutely.
What's their is it that they can't do something themselves? Is it whatever those pain points are, list out those pain points and then make content that has the solution to that particular pain. That's what I would say.
But it's not always straightforward. Do you know what I mean?
No, it's not easy.
It's not always black.
I'm making it sound like that's a really easy thing to do. Yeah. But you know why you started your business. You know what the aim of it is.
You know it better than anyone.
So knowing why someone would need it should be, if I ask that that question of, ask me that question. What are my customers' pain points? Like,
Yeah,
I'd be able to tell you what they are.
Yeah. And so you should.
Yeah. So it should, that is a natural place to start. And then you can start going, okay, each post you're doing, then, you can have the fun stuff that you're doing. It doesn't really have a necessary point to it. But then you look at the content you're creating, and it's like, I say it to you sometimes, don't I? It makes you a bit sad. Like, I'll say, like,
I get sad.
What's the point of that? Like, why? Like, for that client, why have you done it?
I've always got an answer.
Yeah, and sometimes you're wrong. No, you're not really. You're not really. But like, that's a question. But in my mind, it's important to keep like challenging you to say, like, why are you doing it? Like, are you is that hitting one of their USPs? Is it hitting the pain points of their customer?
Should we give an example?
Yeah.
Let's make a made-up brand and let's give an example. So let's do furniture.
Go on then. We'll call them furniture outside.
Furniture outside. Okay. Yeah, I like it.
Works.
Is it outside furniture? I do need some outside furniture. So let's.
Yep.
So we've got furniture outside. Obviously, who are they going to be targeting? So let's do first-time buyers.
Yep.
I'm a first-time buyer. I've got no garden furniture. I keep putting off buying garden furniture because.
So let's set this in. They're a mass market, low cost,
fast delivery.
Yeah, quick delivery brand. Good quality product, but at a good price. Yeah. Affordability.
Yeah.
So, what are the pain points of that customer? They don't have a lot of budget.
No.
They want the product, but they can't afford to spend $3,000 on outdoor.
Or maybe
furniture.
Their priorities are different.
Mm-hmm.
They'd liked garden furniture, but they preferred to spend their disposable income on going travelling or going out with their mates.
But they have pride in their home, and they want to make it better.
Share their home on social media.
Yeah. The summer's coming.
Yeah.
So now we need to get into.
They like trends.
They do. So now we need to create some content that's around those people solving their pain points. So it's talking about the different ranges that you might have, and why different. You might have 10 different ranges. You need to start off going through those different ranges, talking about the benefits,
inspiration in the home. So pictures of it in the garden, what your garden could look like. Look like.
Where are you from? The deep south.
look like. But do you know what I mean? Like, if you can see the product and see the vision, you're more likely to buy it.
Definitely. Different ranges, maybe different colours that you've got. What's in trend. Like, you're trying to generate that sort of, we've got this product, but actually this product's actually really trendy this season, this year, or whatever it is. You're trying to sort of push that onto people. They might have seen the same sort of style of thing elsewhere, but it was $2,000, but you're selling it for £1,200 or whatever it is. So, getting all those types of things across. Different colours, different styles, different types of cushions, all that sort of stuff.
And I think best of all, it comes in a timely.
Talking about the materials as well, sustainability maybe, if there's a sustainable element. Places like TikTok, great place to be talking about sustainability with the sort of
100%
demographic on there. They're really into probably against fast fashion a little bit maybe.
Yeah,
but having said that, people buy loads of stuff on TikTok shop, don't they?
Yeah, that's the thing. That doesn't really fit in with it, does it? But I guess that's maybe with the Amazon era, people want it cheap, people want it now. So people will sway a bit on it.
Definitely.
But I think it's the cost of living going on to sustainability. No one's really got the money at the moment to invest in more expensive products. So you're going to have to take a little bit hit on your
so if you can create some great content of these are the top 3 outdoor furniture trends for 2024, boom, piece of content.
Yeah.
You're not talking about, again, this goes back to selling the product. You're not directly going, buy this sofa set, this outdoor set for £1,200. You're saying, these are the best trends. And they're sort of flashing up in the background. Well, P.S. we've got them in stock, kind of thing.
Yeah.
They're
ready to go. You can have that in 7 days.
Yeah. but you're sort of creating content that's people learning, being educated, and it's bringing in, obviously, you can give away a few of those to creators and stuff like that as well, going back onto the previous episode to try and get them to create content, maybe give them a discount code or something like that, and start to build some interest and then grow it from there. It's a good little example, that, I think.
Yeah, I think an example, it just helps people digest it a bit more.
Yeah, and that could work for furniture, it could work for any e-commerce business, really.
Absolutely.
If you're a travel company, different destinations, talking about those, the benefits, when to travel, what to do when you're there, best things to do in that city,
best beaches,
best
bit of history about that place.
Yes, and random facts like the strangest things to wash up on the beach in Crete. I don't know, or something along those sorts of lines. Shipwrecks, or it could be anything, couldn't it?
Oh, the Zante shipwreck.
Zante shipwreck, yeah.
People absolutely love it.
Yeah. So there's there's loads of different stuff you can do, and it's really it's actually straightforward content to make, but it's really, really effective.
Yeah, and it's one idea that can umbrella.
Yeah.
So
because
many ways.
from that one, we did the other day, didn't we?
Yeah.
We had one sort of thing, USP or key thing that we wanted to get in. And it's like, right, we made one video, and then out of that, we then had 5 more pieces of content. Yeah. We did that 25 times, and then 5 times 25, whatever that is.
You're usually good at quick maths.
125.
Yep.
We had 125 content ideas in about half an hour.
Minutes, yeah.
So, it's easy to us because that's what we do.
Yeah. But if you actually sit and think about it.
But it's just, and we're in those 125, we're repeating the same 25 messages pretty much constantly.
Yeah.
But without the customer realising that's what we're doing.
You wouldn't know it.
You wouldn't.
Magic.
So yeah, that's the sort of intro, I guess, where to get started.
Yeah.
When it comes to choosing a platform, what are the important considerations, do you think?
Well, I think what is understanding your ICP, really. Where is your target consumer? And I've got up this little graph earlier, and I guess it might be good for you to guess what you think, what kind of demographic age range is on each platform. Do you reckon you could do it? I mean, it's broad. I mean,
I'll give it a try.
It's not 100%, but what would you reckon for Facebook?
Now?
Yeah.
30 to 60.
Do you think?
Is it wrong?
Well, the thing is, it's so broad. This is probably a crap game. But It says on here 25 to 34, which I wouldn't have said.
Facebook?
Apparently.
Where have you got that from? What's your source? That is terrible.
This that you give me.
That's my presentation.
Yeah. It was Tom's presentation, so.
I stole that from somewhere. I won't worry about that too much.
Yeah.
Go on then.
But X?
Wouldn't know now.
They're saying 30 to 49. Which I say is probably about right.
Probably. I think as well, who cares about them?
Yeah.
Move on.
Yeah, let's not even talk about them.
God damn Elon Musk.
You drive one of his cars.
I know. Oh,
yeah, enough of that. Right, anyway, Pinterest.
Obviously, female dominated.
78% female.
Yeah. And I would say probably mid-20s to mid-40s maybe. Yeah,
you're right. Up till 49.
Yeah, I would say that's probably about right because it's people researching their weddings, their holidays, their interiors. It's just
DIY
more.
bits,
Yeah, it's more. It's more female sort of orientated, I would say. People look at wedding dresses and stuff on there. It's an inspiration place, isn't it?
And it's good.
Yeah.
This one's a bit of a trick one. YouTube.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, it is. Because I guess you got Miss Rachel on there for the kiddies, from when you're born.
Yeah, my kids are on YouTube constantly. Yeah. YouTube kids.
There's something for everyone. My granddad's now on there.
Is he?
Loves a bit of YouTube. Well, he's not on there. He's not vlogging
or
anything. No, but
no, but I think there's something on there for everyone. There's someone,
there is.
You want to know how to get a nail out your foot or something like that.
But I bet there is something for it.
Yeah.
There is something for everyone. LinkedIn.
Professionals, isn't it? So I guess, quite broad, really. Probably like 25 to 60, I guess.
Well, this says 46 to 55, is that?
Really?
But I think that's
Oh, is
different
that just-
now.
Does that just mean like where the majority of,
The majority, yeah.
or the highest proportion of people are within
Yeah.
that? Yeah, okay.
But I think that is changing. I think LinkedIn is much more fashionable nowadays.
I think B2B, like everyone wants to have that professional network, don't they,
Yeah.
of people?
Well, I think the more people actually, there's not a stigma around speaking about the benefits of having it, like networking and that.
It's the
kind
same
of
thing, isn't it? Is, you know, I do most of my content through that channel
Yeah,
because that's where my audience is.
yeah. So
You know, we do some stuff on TikTok and other channels as well, but you know, me personally, that's where I'm doing
you're
most
the
things.
LinkedIn man.
Don't have a great audience, but
Well, don't beat
it's
yourself
all right.
up.
It's all right.
Don't beat yourself
It
up
works.
about it. It works. It's doing the job. Instagram,
Don't know.
25 to 34 apparently. Which, to be honest,
Yeah, it's probably right.
yeah,
I'd say it's a little bit older than that now. That's again, we're talking when the majority of the audience would be, but I think that's probably pushing another 10 years on top of that, towards 45, 50 as well.
would you say?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's generous. And then obviously TikTok.
18 to definitely 35.
Yeah.
We're seeing.
And I think it's changing.
And it's getting a bit older as well.
I think it is
Because,
definitely.
you know, the early adopters are always going to be slightly younger, and then as time goes on,
They're going to drop off. And
no, it's not they
not
drop off. They're getting older,
Yeah.
and then more people are coming across on other platforms as
Yeah.
well, and the sort of later adopters of that particular
Oh, for
channel.
sure,
And it just
yeah.
boosts the average up, doesn't it, I guess?
I just wonder what the next platform will be. I mean, if we knew it, we'd be very rich people, but...
I'd have made it like MySpace.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't think... I can't...
Can't
Famous
see
last
where
words.
it's
I
going.
can't see something else.
Really?
Because what other type of media is there?
I don't know. Maybe it will be like some sort of VR.
Unless TikTok gets banned or something.
Do you think?
I don't think it will.
I can't see how it will. There's no way. There'll be riots.
Got too much money.
Yeah, there'll be absolute riots. So I guess...
So then, do you have to on every platform, I suppose, is the question out of that, isn't it? No.
No. You've got to do what works, what's got the most value.
And as well, it's like, I think we said this in the previous episode, was do the platforms that suit your brand, but also whatever you're doing, do it well.
Yeah.
Don't spread yourself too thin and do some...
What would you say if someone come to you, obviously I'm making the content, I'm just going to shove it out on... I've made it, so I might as well just shove it out on every platform.
They can, but won't work.
No.
The secret is like how you optimize that content as well. For something like TikTok, for example, it needs to be optimized in a particular way that we're not going to tell anyone because that's a secret.
A little secret.
So send us
pay
the
for that.
content and we'll make it go crazy.
Real crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so, well, I guess we answered that. Does my brand have to be on every social media? Simply, no.
Should we do it? Should we do it?
Really?
Yeah, it's
The
pretty
jingle
cool.
game. Okay.
Come on.
We're coming back for another go on the jingle game. What are we at? 3-0?
3-3. Courtney, I don't know what she's going to do this time, but she's...
Get your buzzers ready. I'm not
Test
losing.
it.
Testing, 1, 2, 3.
Okay. Right, don't let her just shout random things out this time.
I wouldn't. Dare.
Right, let's go.
Harry Potter.
But also, I was very close to getting that before you, and you're shouting it out.
That ain't even...
But if it was me, if I'd have got that slightly before you, you'd have still shouted it out. So you've got to...
But you didn't.
Courtney needs to say, Chloe, and then you
Okay,
can say
if you're going to change the rules, then whatever.
No, it's not. That's fair, isn't it, Callum?
Okay.
Yeah, fine.
Don't get back up.
Ha! Adam's Family.
But you think about it, it needs to be quick fire.
It was quick fire, and then Courtney says,
When you watch this back, you'll see how long you pause for then.
Because I was waiting for her to say, I got it.
Promise?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a delay in me.
So what's it, 4-4 now?
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah, 4-3-4. Oh, so someone's going to be ahead after this episode.
Ooh, this is the decider.
This is exciting. This is the decider on this episode. And someone's going to go ahead in the overall competition, which
Someone
is
be
exciting.
the champion. Be me. Ready?
Well, it's not champion, it's just ahead.
Champion of that episode.
Ready?
Yeah, sorry.
Chloe.
Milky Bar.
Yes. Well,
All red has to do. Oh, dairy. No, Milky Bar, Milky Way. All red has to do is stuff his face.
you still got it.
I wouldn't have got it anyway.
Would you not?
No.
Oh.
Well done.
So you're
Did
ahead.
I wait for my name then?
Yeah, you did.
Yeah,
Well done.
good.
So you're
No.
ahead.
I'm ahead!
Going into the next episode. So what was the score? 7. Must be 7-6, something like that.
I don't know. Callum, you can add it up for us. Editor
The
Cal.
scores will appear here.
Here. Winner, winner, chicken dinner.
Right, let's crack on.
Let's
as
crack
well.
back into
I'm
it.
a bit annoyed about that, but never mind. Can't win them all. Got to let you think you're better than me.
Just think. I know.
So let's get back into it. When it comes to, obviously, this episode more about social than anything else, but consistency is always an issue, isn't it, for people? I think, like being able to be consistent, it can be difficult.
I think it comes down to time, doesn't it?
Mm.
I think time is a massive factor in.
You've got to train your audience. That's why consistency is important. You've got to train your audience. You've got to, almost have them wait in. If it's something funny, they know you always produce something funny on a Monday morning or something like that.
yeah.
You've got to
You'd be waiting for
yeah,
it.
you kind of trying to create like a following like that. And it's definitely possible. Like people do it.
Oh, yeah. And the more consistent you are with it, you just drum into people's brains.
Mm. Yeah, it's like, I think, if I listen to TalkSport and stuff on the way into work in the morning.
Do you?
Yeah.
Shows your age.
Why?
Who listens to the radio?
Oh, me.
Yeah.
And like they have some people on there, and then the clips of it go out on social and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
it always creates. You've got people on there to create tension and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So, but you're almost like waiting to see the clips and then the comments and all that comes off the back of
Yeah.
that, because it's football and sport and rivalry and this type of thing that like creates that.
Yeah. It's rife for it.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing that why people love football is because of the community surrounding it.
Yeah.
So there'd be so much football content online
Mm.
because people they go crazy for it. So I think that just proves how building a community and having that consistency with them,
Yep.
that cult following,
Mm.
it's never a bad thing.
Yeah, and that sort of goes into like trends as well, like trying to keep up with trends.
Mm.
It's difficult as well, but there are some good tools out there. Like, can help you
Yeah.
to find the like latest trending sounds, and like say TikTok's bringing out some new bits and pieces to help with finding those sorts of things as well. Got their creative platform as well, haven't they?
Yeah. How would you stay on top of the trends?
I don't really use TikTok that much,
No.
so I rely on you guys to.
I
figure
think the
that
thing
out.
with TikTok, staying ahead of the trends is being on it, being immersed in it.
Yeah, there is a thing I use, which sort of has trend predictors for like the next like year.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Wonder how accurate.
it's quite accurate.
I think
If
it'd
I
be
look
good
back-
to keep an eye on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Can't tell you what it's called.
Well, you could tell me after.
I'll tell you what it's called.
No gatekeeping, please.
The reason I can't tell you is 'cause I can't remember.
Oh, really?
It's on a tab on here somewhere, and I just click on it.
That
every
is
now
your
and again.
problem half the time. You said, "Oh, well, I've looked into this. What's it called?" And then you don't really say anything, and I'm like, "Oh, it's because
Yeah,
you can't remember."
No, because I've got like 500 tabs open on my computer.
No, your
It's-
laptop
it's
is absolutely
somewhere there.
disgusting. Gives me anxiety. Like mine is bad, but yours is.
Yeah,
So when
horrendous.
the tabs are so tiny.
The worst thing is when someone's I'm on a video call with someone, and then like I share my screen, and they're like, "What is that?"
Yeah, you should open up a new browser for that, please.
Yeah, probably. I'll start doing that for now.
Yeah, you look a bit chaotic.
Yeah, I am.
Not wrong.
Not every post has to be a trend, though, does it? Like keeping up with trends is not, you're not always trying to like do trending stuff all the time.
No.
It's just, if you can weave that into your content, like a meme or something funny that's happening, and you can relate that to that theme, if you like, or that trend to your brand.
I think you're putting too much.
It's got a lot of merit in it, hasn't it?
Pressure on yourself if you're trying to constantly stay up with trends. You need to be true to your brand.
Yeah, and then use those more viral things that are happening to just try and enhance what you're doing.
Yeah, 100%.
That's quite a nice way of putting it.
I think that's a nice. Do you remember what you said there?
No.
It was nice though.
Well, we've got it on film.
Yeah, we got it on film now anyway.
Luckily, we're recording audio, so it makes things a little bit easier. I'll watch that back and go, yeah, that was a great book.
Yeah.
In fact, I watched one of the episodes yesterday, I think it was, and I was like, that was really good. Who said that? And it was me.
Yeah, because you were listening to it back with your voice.
I was like, that is genius.
You never say that about me anyway.
No,
so.
I do. I was giving you praise.
Yeah, whatever. No, it does.
Do something good.
Do something good. You do something good and tell us what this is then. You're never going to find it. I'll wait till after.
No. I think it's called Glimpse.
Glimpse.
Kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
Shout out Glimpse.
Yeah. Shout out Glimpse.
I knew I could get that into this somewhere.
Absolutely. Shout out Glimpse. Shout out Alia for the chairs. No, Tom was really desperate to get a little shout out in it. He's seen it on previous podcasts.
That's actually
like done,
I'm trying not to crack up. That's really funny.
You can't laugh at your own jokes.
That's made my day. I've got that in there.
Got that in there.
Anyway.
He thought it was cool.
So trends, influencers, content creators. We hate influencers. No, we don't hate influencers. That's a bit unfair.
That was a little bit
We call them content creators now, don't we?
Yeah.
That's a new sort of term, I guess, like in our marketplace. We need content creators to create UGC content.
But are they right for every brand? I think there's a content creator out there for everyone.
B2B, probably not. B2C. Maybe. There's probably, if you're selling, I don't know, spanners, then there'll be some sort of guy on YouTube has got a massive following. And
it's like we said, there's a guy on YouTube for everything.
True. Yeah, then maybe there is then.
So I've seen things on YouTube like people making like knives and like
they're cool, aren't they?
Yeah. There's something for everyone.
Something for the serial killers.
Do you think? Oh no, we love a bit of true crime in this office.
We do.
We should make a point of trying to look for the most obscure video or obscure creator on YouTube. That we should make that our mission in one of the videos.
With the biggest following or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
something really niche.
Yeah, something really, really niche. And then just to support what we say, there's a creator for everyone.
Yeah. And from anything you've seen recently, do you think there's anyone that's like nailed the sort of use of content creators at the moment? Like, have you seen something and gone, they've utilised that asset really well? Can you think of anything?
The thing is, I think we're sold to in such a natural way now. It's hard to pinpoint.
It's either natural or like totally obvious, isn't it? Like, people either get it well, or they don't. I think, and that's why that's why when people come to us, they're like, "Oh, I tried that, it didn't work." Yeah, but how did you do it? Like, did you do it in the right way? It's fine saying I tried social media ads and they just don't work for me. Who did it? Is it was it, with all due respect, was it like you? And you know nothing about it, and you've just set up some ads and gone, I didn't get anything out of that? Or have you had someone that's like been doing it for the last 10 years or 5 years or whatever that really knows how to set it up, optimize it, create the best creative, make it work? Because they're two totally different things.
100%. I tell you, I have just had a thought. You know that Virgin Cruises?
Yes.
They have sent
just launched, haven't they, Virgin Cruises?
I think they did. They sent a lot of influencers, creators.
Shout out to Richard. If you want to come on, then I'm happy. Please. You can take Chloe's place.
Be our guest. Well, be your guest, apparently. I've just been kicked off. But they put so many creators, influencers on there around my age. I haven't thought about going cruising before. I thought cruising was for...
Yeah, it's really... I mean, that's what they do, isn't it? Virgin as a brand. They're really good at that sort of thing, I think.
And it worked well. Do you know what I mean?
Because they're entering a cruise market, right? They must be looking at that. It's a bit like if doing SEO or something like that. To break into a new market, which might have really established people in it that are ranking really well on Google. It'd be really hard to break into that. But the way Virgin have done it, obviously they're trying to break into a market, but they're going, actually, we don't want the normal people that are going cruising necessarily.
No.
We want to create a new cruise market.
Make it trendy.
But then also, does that then pull some of those people going, oh, what's different about a Virgin cruise to I don't know, Fred Olsen or P&O or whoever else, whoever else it is. Like, maybe they can then, by doing that, they're going, one, they're opening up a slightly new market, but also, are they then making those other people really envious of this amazing cruise that they've created?
Oh yeah, for sure. It's clever.
Yeah, it's disruptive, I suppose.
That's the word, disruptive, and it bloody well is.
And yeah, did they use TikTok a lot for that?
Yeah, everything I saw was on TikTok. So.
Yeah, I've not really seen that. So.
Have you not?
Probably too old.
I didn't want to say anything.
I'm going on Fred Olsen.
Are you?
No, I'm not. But that's probably. I'm probably in that age bracket now.
You're going on a Warner's holiday, staycation. You're not quite there yet. Only just turned 40.
35. Thank you very much.
Gotcha. Right.
So let's round it up then. So yeah, don't be scared of social, but you've got to commit to it. You've got to find the right strategy to begin with. That's point number one. Research. Yeah, take more time. Don't just try and just go into it without thinking about it. Think about the content, what you're trying to say, what are the pain points of your customers.
Make it true to you.
Yeah. Then once you've done that, it's then about being consistent for a period of time, 6, 12 months, making it really kind of, keep going with the content, keep repeating your messages.
It's not going to happen overnight.
Yeah. Don't just try and make stuff for trends, like try and weave that in to that content, and hopefully that gets you a bit more reach. And then try and use some influencers to sort of, again, amplify that message.
Yeah. Don't underestimate the power of creators.
Yeah.
They're not as expensive as you think.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're the sort of, what's that, 4 or 5 points there that
I guess so.
To start off with. Like, if you started that, it's going to give you a pretty solid foundation, I would say, isn't it?
Yeah, to build on. Just keep at it. Rome wasn't built in a day.
It wasn't.
No, so.
But yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's it. I hope you enjoyed this time.
Thank you very much for tuning in.
And seeing our boats, but we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye now.